Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. Today I just wanted to show you guys another example of what I did in my previous video with solving using the quadratic formula. So my last example I did was with a like negative under the square root and all that, and that was when we had to factor out the I and the negative and all that. So when there's a negative under the square root, it gets kind of messy, but this one should end up being positive, hopefully. So this one will probably be easier and won't take as long. So we're going to do the same thing as we did in last video. Here's just another quick reminder of what the letters and numbers represent. So we're going to solve using the quadratic formula. So x equals negative b, which is 12, so negative 12 plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4. A is 2, and then c is negative 7. And this is all going to be over 2a, and a is equal to 2. Now we can simplify, so x equals negative 12 plus or minus the square root of, so 12 squared is 144, 4 is 2, I'm just doing this step by step, 7 over 2 times 2, so we simplify, we did the 12, now we'll do x equals negative 12 plus or minus the square root of negative, we don't want another negative, 144. Now we do negative 4 times 2, which is negative 8. Times negative 7 over 2. And finally, we have negative 12 plus or minus the square root. So we do negative 8, or 8 times negative 7 is negative 56. And we're subtracting a negative 56, so if there's two negatives, it turns positive. So we'll have 144 plus 56 over 2 times 2, which is 4. Oops. Which is 4. And now we can add the numbers under the square root sign. So 144 plus 56 is 200 over 4. Now, since 200 doesn't have a perfect square root for like 64 or 81, we have to factor out the 200, kind of like we did in the last one. So 200. We can start by, I like to sometimes use bigger numbers so it doesn't take me as long to factor. So I can divide 200 by 10 and get 20. 10 breaks into 2 and 5. 20 breaks into 2 and 10. And then another 10 breaks into 2 and 5. So look at this. So we have, so like I said in the last video, we need at least one pair of the same number for it to escape the square root jail. So we have one pair of 2, and we also have one pair of 5. So we have 2 5s and 2 2s, and since there's one pair of 5 and one pair of 2, they can escape, but this 2 has to stay in the square root jail because it doesn't have another buddy to escape with. So since if two different numbers can escape, like 5 and 2, we just multiply 5 times 2 to get 10. And this 2 has to stay in the jail. So we have 10 over 2. And then we just add it to this. So x equals, we have x equals negative 12 plus or minus 10 square root 2 over 4. And we can simplify this further. So x equals, we can divide everything by 2. So negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6, or minus 10 divided by 2 is 5. And we don't do anything with the square root of 2, we just leave that. So 5 square root 2. We just simplify the number outside the square root. And then 4 divided by 2 is 2. And we can't, I think we can simplify negative 6 and 2, but we can't simplify the 5 anymore. So we can divide negative 6 by 2 and 2 by 2. And 2 divided by 2 is just 1, so this cancels out. And we don't need to put the 1 under the denominator since it's just dividing by 1. So negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3 plus or minus 5 square root 2. And since there would be a 1 in the denominator, again, we don't need to put it because it would just be negative 3 plus 5 square root 2 divided by 1, which would be the same thing. So this is our final answer. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful.